Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Sir. Gozi now. Gozi now.
They can just bring in some. Yes, I just walk in there. You give a little demonstration of this. So that we can see. From their declaration,
Monday
declared chili quota.
Sorry.
Chili quota. But because of the credible intelligence we have gotten, we observe that this substance is concealed with a very dangerous codeine syrup. Codeine is dangerous to our health. That is why in Nigeria we are having cases of renal failures. Cases of renal failure is rampant because of the way we are using the codeine. And they use chili quota to seal the codeine. We are so grateful to Nigerian Drugs Law Enforcement Agency for wonderful collaboration between us and them. Said our strength is when we are united. When there's collaboration, when there's synergy, then we'll be able to achieve the desired result. So we thank NDLE for collaborating with us, for giving us this credible information on this.
Here. Okay, ma.
So the codeine at 375 bottles. Each bottle is 100 ml, you can see, and without NAFDAC registration. Thank you, madam. You're most welcome. If you do like this, this is the sample.
Hello, sir. You can speak from there.
So the declaration on this container is the sample chili quota. As I said, due to intelligence and information sharing, that is what the CGC has been canvassing for. Collaboration, work together with sister agencies, so that there will be that don't work in isolation. Work as a team, be a team player, work as a family. So because of that, we are able to achieve this. This is another brand of codeine. As you know, codeine is dangerous to our health. It's dangerous to our kidneys. It's also dangerous to our liver and other internal organs. As I said earlier, we are having rampant cases of kidney failures. You go to our old hospitals, you see a lot of people undergoing dialysis. This is one of the results. This is as a result of collaboration and information sharing. The more we are united, the better for us, the better for the country. And that's why the CGC has always been canvassing for collaboration, working together, working as a family, be a team player. In due course, we'll hand over these drugs or this illicit medicine to NDLE.
Okay, can you give an estimate of these containers?
Is it the value or the quantity?
Yes.
The value is over 3 billion.
Okay.
While the quantity of the offensive items, that's like the codeine, is 375 bottles of 100 ml each. 375,000 bottles of 100 ml each. Go ahead. I'm intelligent, prudent. We are subjecting every cargo to 100% examination. If there's need for DN appraisal of value, we'll do that. If there's need for us to subject the container to another round of examination, we do that. And also we have a mechanism of settling dispute at the command. If we raise something for you, you do not agree, you can appeal. And then we go to the dispute resolution committee, whereby issues will be resolved. But don't forget, we are also doing everything possible to ensure that we facilitate trade.
Okay, controller, sir.
Yeah.
We, as journalists, there is a way we get feedback from the society.
Yes.
And with what we've gathered so far from dark communications,
Yes.
we find out that some of the men at the checkpoints,
Yes.
they said after seizing these contraband goods,
Yes.
you people don't follow the right.
Grieve. He can say anything. imagine someone like the owner of these containers, definitely he would be aggrieved with customs for us stopping them from what he wants to do. So he can do anything to tarnish our image, he can do anything to paint us black. It's not true. We follow the due processes. We go to the Federal High Court, as I said in my briefing. If there's anything, we go to the court. Once you contravene the provision of the law, we take you to the court. And if there's anything, the court is the final arbiter that will determine. If the court says even this goods should be given to the owner, we do that. We have cases whereby containers were blocked, were detained, but court will say we have turned over. I think even last month we had some containers that for Abuja, they had to write to us that we should give them feedback, that court said we shall hand over these containers to the owners. So once you contravene the law, we'll subject you to the court processes. So that's just it. Anybody that's saying counter is because he's aggrieved. Maybe he has committed and we are punishing. Yes, thank you.
Okay,
How many are the containers?
Then the 4 containers, 4x20 with fabrics.
Yes.
And less.
Now, any arrest? Any arrest?
No, we have someone that, but he claimed also is not the real owner. So we have even took him. We are still investigating on the matter. I received briefings on activities of the command from my predecessor, my officers, and distinguished stakeholders. Then I embarked on courtesy visit to bonded terminals, various sister agencies, and had series of meetings with stakeholders to seek for their cooperation in terms of collaboration, synergy, and information sharing. This is in line with the Controller General of Customs, Bashir Adewale Adeni MFR policy thrust of consolidation and collaboration. The result of these actions will be revealed shortly. Let me start with revenue generation. The command was initially given a target of 494 billion naira before it was reviewed 2 weeks ago to 618 billion naira as the revenue target for the year 2024. At the end of May 2024, the command had generated a total revenue of 249 billion 752 million 268,298 naira point 28 kobo, which translates to 50.4% of the initial target and 40.3% of the current annual target. When compared to the same period last year, 2023, the command had an increase in revenue generation of 153 billion 213 million 700,450.15 kobo. It is worthy to note that despite the NLC strike for 2 days, Democracy Day for a day, and the Salah public holiday, as of this morning, the command has generated 43 billion 430 million 267,210 naira for the month of June 2024. We look forward to a continuous rise in revenue generation in the coming months, and we are optimistic we will surpass the annual target by the end of the year. On anti-smuggling activities, we have on display 6 containers that were seized for violation and contraventions of various customs laws and breach of custom procedure as provided under the revised import prohibition guidelines of the CET 2022 to 2026, as well as section 233, 234, 235, 245 and 246 of the Nigerian Customs Service Act 2023. Also today, we have on display a seized container of used electronics which has turned to e-waste, as you are aware of the environmental implication such waste pose to humanity. For the purpose of proper disposal, we shall be working with Nesria in the spirit of interagency cooperation, synergy, and in line with section 119 and 245 of the Nigerian Customs Service Act to have it properly disposed. The seized items on display are as follows: 4 by 20 feet containers laden with bales of fabrics and lace, total 96 jumbo size with a duty paid value of 911,520,000 naira. Also seized were 2x40 containers laden with 2,625 cartons of cough syrup codeine. We all know the implication of this codeine that is causing to our health, and 80 cartons of sildenafil citrate tablets and 40 cartons which they use to shield the other things, the illicit items, chili cutter, with a duty paid value of 2,250,654,000. Based on concealment, false declaration, contravention of revised import prohibition guidelines, and Section 55, subsection 1, paragraph C and I of Nigerian Customs Service Act 2023, the content of this importation contravenes the provision of the law which prohibits and restricts certain goods for the protection of public health and safety. Put together, the total paid value of the 7 seized containers stand at 3,188,454,452 naira. Let me state here that the above seizures were made purely from intelligence we gathered and information we have gotten from sister agency, alongside subjecting these items to 100% physical examination, that's due diligence by our officers. I want to use this opportunity to thank NDLEA for their collaboration and interagency cooperation, as seizures of this magnitude could not have been possible without their involvement. We thank NDLEA. Nevertheless, investigation is still ongoing through our legal and intelligence unit to arrest the culprits and bring them to book as soon as possible. These containers are currently in our government warehouse and will be shown to members of the press shortly. The seized containers will be filed for condemnation at the Federal High Court, Port Harcourt, and shall subsequently be forfeited to the federal government. Gentlemen of the press, the command shall continue to address our core responsibilities by employing various risk management strategies at collecting revenue, identifying vulnerable leakages, gathering intelligence, and facilitating trade. We cannot but underscore the necessity and imperativeness of leveraging on synergy, collaboration, and intelligence sharing with sister agencies and stakeholders as it enhances our revenue drive and anti-smuggling feats. These deliberate and concerted efforts will guide us in contributing our quota towards realizing remarkable results in line with vision and mission of the Controller General of Customs, Bashir Adewale Adeni, MFR, and his management team. I recognize the critical role the media plays, especially in the area of sensitization and public enlightenment. In order to achieve willful compliance to trade laws of all import and export through this axis, please continue to educate the public while the command will continue to reinvigorate strategies that will enhance our performance. In recent times, the command has observed a lot of journalists that have been asking questions about bonded terminals, and a large number of our journalist stakeholders are misinformed about the procedures. Hence, the view that containers moved to the bonded terminals are at the discretion of the command. In this view is erroneous. Hence, the need to set the record straight, as well as educate our friends, the press, stakeholders, and other public on bonded terminal procedure. It is important to note that one of the core functions of the Customs Service is trade facilitation, which entails a streamlined and simplified techniques and legal procedure in clearing items entering or leaving Nigeria. These procedures are guides in which all custom officers must adhere to. The final destination for clearing of any consignment into the country is at the owner's or importer's discretion. This cannot be altered by any custom officer, including the area controller. Firstly, importer must have to stipulate the bonded terminal or the port that will be his final destination. right at the country of exportation, which is always indicated on the bill of lading, at the shipping companies to the seaport which the vessel will berth. This negates the erroneous belief that on the officers connive with operators of the bonded terminal to transfer containers to bonded terminal. Secondly, part of the procedure stipulates that these items moving to bonded terminal should be on transit/bond, which is mandatory. The third procedure is escort, which is mandatory. A landing certificate must have to be brought back to us. This procedure is strictly adhered by the customs officers in Onne. Any infraction discovered in the course of physical examination will translate to DN, that is demand notice, in order to recover the shortfall in revenue paid or detention in our government warehouse, which will be converted to seizure if there is need. It may interest our stakeholders to note that the seizure of codeine were on transit to bonded terminals, but due to the credible intelligence we have gathered, these containers had to be stepped down at the mother port for physical examination. Hence, there is no hiding place for economic saboteurs in the command.